It's a view from the floor here at the New York Stock Exchange. I am joined by Scott Braun, Chief Investment Officer at Kuttin Wealth Management. Thank you so much for joining us, Scott. And oil prices jumping 3%. News out of Iran that they're not giving up their uranium. It's not being let out of the country. So, with that news and so much geopolitical uncertainty, how should investors be looking at the market?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we came into the year what I would call uncomfortably bullish, and we feel that way, to this day. So, what that means is there's a lot of positives in the market. But when you look under the hood, there's things that maybe expectations have gotten a little ahead of reality. So things like the K-shaped economy, what's happening with the 10-year yield, and really just looking back historically, it's really rare for the S&P 500 to be up more than 10% for 4 consecutive years. So if it wasn't those geopolitical events that you talked about, we thought it was going to be something else, right? And so for us, our philosophy is we're not trying to figure out what the next headline is. What we're trying to do is make sure that our portfolios and our clients remain disciplined. Because really, at the end of the day, what our clients want is they want to protect the wealth that they've accumulated and they want to achieve their goals with the least amount of risk possible. So, really, it all starts with the asset allocation and it's grounded in a financial plan, right? First and foremost, we're a financial planning firm. Okay. So, all investment decisions tie back into the plan.
What does smart risk management look like to you right now?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So at Cut and Wealth Management, we frame risk as the certainty of uncertainty. So what that means is, if you think about it, life rarely goes according to the script that you lay out, right? So it's really about trying to help the clients tip the odds in their favor while maintaining discipline. So what does that look like? Well, we pre-schedule rebalances throughout the year. It's making thoughtful adjustments to the portfolios. It's, when it's appropriate, we expand our toolkit. But if I had to sum it up in one phrase, it's having a process and sticking to it, even when the market's strong. Actually, that's when it's most important. And it's one of the reasons that we moved to a centralized investment function. That way, advisors can rely on the fact that they have a consistent, repeatable process behind them.
You've mentioned before that you should always have a CIO in your back pocket. What exactly does that mean to clients and advisors?
Yeah. So what that means is every advisor is going to have institutional level financial support behind them without the time burden. All right. So if you think about it, a typical advisor spends about 20 to 25% of their time on portfolio management. Right. So what we've done is taken that and moved it to a centralized, dedicated investment team. So we do the research, we do the portfolio construction, we do the trading, we even put out the market commentary. Because, really for most advisors, the biggest constraint that they have is not lack of opportunity, it's time. So what we're doing is giving them time back in their calendar, and they can use that as capacity for growth. And I would say even more importantly than that, it allows advisors to grow into their roles as leaders. So leadership is something very important to us at Kuttin Wealth Management. It's actually one of our core values. We define leadership as influencing people to do something that they probably wouldn't have done on their own. So when you remove the day-to-day burden of portfolio management from an advisor, it frees up time for them to influence their clients towards better outcomes.
Who are some of the other key players when it comes to financial success?
Yeah. So, today, in order to get the best outcomes, it really is a team-based approach. The days of it just being investments really are over, right? So we need to integrate that with financial planning, tax strategy, estate planning, risk management. And so that means working with CPAs, it means working with attorneys, and really any specialist that's involved in the client's life to make sure everything is aligned, right? And what we're really trying to do is create a family office style experience. And what we find is when the advice is coordinated between all of those people, you get much more effective outcomes. Because really what we're trying to do is have the advisors be able to provide advice to their clients that brings confidence, simplicity, and success, while at the same time growing a more sustainable, scalable business.
Scott, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you very much.
And that'll do it for us here at the New York Stock Exchange. I'm Michelle Yu. We'll see you next time here on Asset TV.